Hello everyone and welcome back to Cute Crochet. My name is Sri and in today's video I am going to show you how to crochet these adorable cat amigurumis. These are a no-sew pattern, super easy to make and perfect for beginners. All these cats have the same pattern, just the color changes are different. In this video I will show you how to make the tuxedo cat just because it has all of the different type of color changes, the paws, the body and the tail. For all the other color variations, I'll provide you with the written pattern and also other tips and tricks. All these patterns have very deliberate color placements based on real recognizable cat breeds. Here I have the tuxedo cat, calico cat, Siamese cat and tabby cat. However, cats come in an infinite number of color variations. Once you get the hang of color changing, you can make any kind of pattern you want, even to match your own cat. So let's get started. Tuxedo cats are black and white normally, but for filming I am using this grey yarn. This is a 4-ply yarn and with it I am using a 3mm crochet hook, which is a couple of sizes smaller than what is recommended for this yarn. It's actually recommended to use a 4mm hook with this. We do this so that our stitches are nice and tight and none of the stuffing shows through. We are going to start by making a magic circle. To do that, wrap your yarn up and over your finger like so, forming a cross in the front. Then insert your hook underneath the cross. Take the yarn from the other side and pull through. Again yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Now remove this loop from your finger and this is the magic circle that we are going to work into. Start by making a chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now we are going to make 8 single crochets in the magic circle. To make the single crochet, insert your hook in the magic circle and pull up a loop. You will have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. That's our first single crochet. Let's do that again. Insert your hook in the magic circle and pull up a loop. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Now we are going to make 6 more single crochets in the magic circle for 8 single crochets in total. After making the 8 single crochets, you can pull on this tail to cinch the magic circle completely closed, and this brings us to the end of round 1. This amigurumi is going to be worked in continuous rounds, so we need to mark the last stitch of the round. For that I am using a paper clip here, but you can use anything. You can use a yarn in a different color or get proper stitch markers. For round 2, we are going to increase in every stitch all the way around. An increase is simply placing 2 single crochets into one stitch. So go into that first stitch and make 1 single crochet. Then make 1 more single crochet in that same stitch. That's our increase stitch. Again in the next stitch, make 2 single crochets. Like this, continue making increases in every stitch all the way around. Here I am at the last stitch of the round. Remove the stitch marker and place 2 single crochets into that stitch as well. This brings us to the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, you will have 16 single crochets all the way around. At the beginning of round 3, we are going to change colors for the paw. For that, we first need to undo the last stitch of round 2. Start the stitch again, but with 2 loops on your hook. Do not complete that stitch. Now bring in your white yarn and drape it over your crochet hook like so. Now instead of the grey yarn, pull the white yarn through the 2 loops on your hook, drop the grey yarn and pick up the white yarn to work with, and that's it. That's how you change colors. Don't forget to mark the last stitch of round 2. We are going to work over these yarn tails as we go. For the pause, we are going to make bubble stitches. To make the bubble stitch, yarn over, then go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only, leave the last 2 remaining on your hook. Again yarn over, go into the same stitch and pull up a loop. Now you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only, leave the last 3 remaining on your hook. Again yarn over, go into the same stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. Repeat this 2 more times. Once you have done it 5 times in total and you have 6 loops on your hook, drop the white yarn, pick up the grey yarn and pull through all 6 loops on your hook. We will work with the grey yarn now and carry the white yarn along by working over it. Push the bobble to the front, then go into the next stitch and make 2 single crochets into it. Make sure that you don't miss it because it gets squished a little bit behind the bobble. In the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, make 2 single crochets. On the second stitch, we are going to change colors. For that, start the stitch like you normally would. With 2 loops on your hook, drop the grey yarn, pick up the white yarn and pull through the 2 loops with it. This is going to be our repeat pattern that we are going to repeat 3 more times. Work over the grey yarn tail as you go. Let's do it again. Make a bobble stitch with the white yarn in the next stitch. Finish the bubble stitch with grey yarn. Now working over the white yarn tail, in the next stitch increase. Then in the next stitch single crochet. Then in the next stitch again increase. In the second stitch we are going to change colors back to white. Repeat this pattern 2 more times for all 4 paws. Here I am at the last stitch of the round. Remove the stitch marker and increase into that last stitch. This brings us to the end of round 3. At the end of round 3, you will have 24 stitches all the way around, including the bobble stitches. Go ahead and mark the new last stitch of the round. For round 4, we will make one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Starting from the popcorn stitch, make one single crochet in the first 7 stitches with the grey yarn. On the 7th stitch, we are going to change colors. So, drop the grey yarn, pick up the white yarn and pull through the 7th stitch. Now, working over the grey yarn, with the white yarn, make one single crochet in the next 5 stitches. On the 5th stitch, change the color back to grey. Then with this grey yarn, make one single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches of the round, carrying the white yarn tail as you go. Here I am at the last stitch of the round. Remove the stitch marker and make one single crochet in that last stitch. This brings us to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, you will have 24 stitches all the way around. Mark the last stitch of the round. For round 5, with the grey yarn, make one single crochet in the first 7 stitches. On the 7th stitch, switch to white. With the white, make one single crochet in the next 6 stitches. On the 6th stitch, switch back to grey and make one single crochet in the next 8 stitches. After making the 8 single crochets, there should be 3 stitches remaining in the round. We'll make a space for the tail. For that, chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the last stitch of the round. I'm still carrying the white yarn tail as I go. Make sure to mark the last stitch of the round. For round 6, with the grey yarn, make 1 single crochet in the first 8 stitches. On the 8th stitch, switch to white and make 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. On the 4th stitch, switch to grey and make 1 single crochet in the next 12 stitches. This includes the 2 chains that we made in the previous round. This is the last round where we need the white yarn, so I'll work over it for a few more stitches and then cut off the excess. Here I'm right before the 2 chains. I walked over the white yarn till enough, so I'm cutting off the excess. Now place 1 single crochet into each of the chains. I'm going in the back loop only of the chain and making the stitches. Then make 1 single crochet in the last stitch of the round. At the end of round 6, you will have 24 stitches all the way around. Mark the new last stitch of the round. From round 7, we are going to start decreasing. Make 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. In the next 2 stitches, we are going to make an invisible decrease. For that, go under the front loop of the first stitch. Then twist your hook around and go under the front loop of the second stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop like you normally would. Then finish the stitch. That's our decrease stitch. Again, make 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. In the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. We are going to repeat this sequence 2 more times. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and then invisible decrease. Here I'm at the end of the round. Remove the stitch marker and decrease in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 7, you will have 20 stitches all the way around. For round 8, we are going to make one single crochet into each stitch all the way around, keeping the stitch count constant at 20. I am going to finish this round and meet back up with you. Here I am at the end of round 8. For round 9, make one single crochet in the first 3 stitches. Then in the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. Again one single crochet in the next 3 stitches. In the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. We are going to repeat this sequence 2 more times. Here I am at the end of round 9. Remove the stitch marker and decrease in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 9, you will have 16 stitches all the way around. For round 10, we are going to make one single crochet into each stitch all the way around, keeping the stitch count constant at 16. I am going to finish this round and meet back up with you. Here I am at the end of round 10. On round 11, we are going to make the ears. Start by making one single crochet in the first stitch. In the next stitch, increase. Again one single crochet in the next stitch. In the next stitch, increase. Then make one single crochet in the next 8 stitches. After making the 8 stitches, in the next stitch, increase. In the next stitch, single crochet. In the next stitch, increase. Then in the last stitch, remove the stitch marker and make one single crochet. At the end of round 11, you will have 20 single crochets. We are done crocheting the body. Now you can cut the excess yarn and fasten off, leaving a long enough tail for sewing. If you want to put in safety eyes, you have to do it now before stuffing or sewing. Start counting the rounds from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll place the eyes in between rounds 8 and 9. Locate the stitch between 8 and 9 that is centered with the legs and the belly patch, which is this one. Count 2 stitches on the right from it and place one safety eye. From that same stitch, count 2 stitches to the left and place the second eye. These are 4mm safety eyes, but they appear to be a bit too big for this amigurumi. Unfortunately, these are the smallest safety eyes I own, so I'm just going to remove them and embroider the eyes instead. You can do the embroidery now or after stuffing. I prefer to do it after. Generously stuff the body. Then take this yarn tail on your yarn needle to sew up the top. From the next stitch, count 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go through the 10th stitch and then through the first stitch and sew through both. Now match up the two sides and sew through the corresponding stitches on both sides. Here I finished sewing one of the ears. Go back in through that corner and come back out at the middle. Sew up the other side in the same way. Here I finished sewing the second ear as well. You can shape them manually to make them more prominent. Now come in from the corner and bring that yarn tail out through the back of the amigurumi. Leave that yarn tail hanging there for now. We are going to use it to sew up the keychain. To embroider the eyes, I have taken this black yarn. First, with some pins, I am going to mark where the eyes are going to go. In the same spot where I had placed the safety eyes, in between rounds 8 and 9, 4 stitches apart. Now take your yarn, come in from the back of the amigurumi and through one of the holes where the pins are. You can then pull out the pin. Don't pull the yarn all the way through, leave a little bit hanging at the back. To make the French knot, wrap the base of the yarn on your yarn needle a couple of times like so. Then go back in through the same hole and this time come out where the other pin is. You can remove that pin as well. Gently wiggle the yarn needle through. This will create a nice circular knot for the eye. Again repeat it on the other side. Wrap the base of your yarn on your yarn needle twice. Then go back down through the same hole and this time come out through the same hole that we came in. Gently wiggle the yarn needle through. The two eyes should be fairly even. To secure the embroidery, tie a knot at the back with these two yarn tails. Then cut off the excess yarn and hide the knot into the body by pushing it in using the back of your yarn needle. To embroider the mouth and whiskers, I have taken crochet thread. You can also separate a ply from the 4-ply yarn. The mouth will go on top of round 8 in between the two eyes. Come in through the back and out in between the two eyes in between round 7 and 8. Don't pull the yarn all the way through. Leave a bit hanging at the back. Then make a straight across stitch and come out in between rounds 8 and 9. Catch the loop and then go back in through the same hole. Now embroider 2 whiskers on either side of the eyes. To secure the embroidery, come out through the same hole that you came in. Then you can tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails, cut the excess yarn and hide the knot in the body. Next, for the tail, start with the same yarn as the body. Make a slip knot. Go to the back opening that we had made for the tail. Insert a hook into the first of the 2 single crochets and make 1 single crochet into it. Then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Make 1 single crochet on the side of the row. Then turn your work and make 1 single crochet in the back loop of the chains. One single crochet in the next chain as well. Then 1 single crochet on the side of the row. You should have 6 single crochets in total for the base of the tail. You can tuck this yarn tail into the body. We are going to work in rounds, so go into that first stitch and make a single crochet. I am not using a stitch marker here because the piece is very small. I am keeping count in my head very carefully. Make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Repeat this for 3 more rounds, so rounds 2, 3 and 4. At the end of round 4, we are going to change the color to white. With the white yarn, continue making one single crochet in each stitch all the way around for 3 more rounds. Like this, you can make any kind of pattern on the tails. You can make stripes or even small patches. After working over the grey yarn for one round, you can cut off the excess. We are not going to use it anymore. At the end of round 7, cut the excess yarn and fasten off, leaving a long enough tail for sewing. You can leave the tail without stuffing, but I am stuffing it just a little bit. Push down the stuffing using your scissors or the back of your crochet hook. To close up the hole, take this yarn tail on your yarn needle. Weave the yarn in and out through the front loop of each of the 6 stitches. Then when you pull on this yarn tail, it should close up the hole nicely. Using your yarn needle, come in through the center of the hole and out through the back of the amigurumi anywhere. We are going to use this yarn tail to attach the keychain, so take that on your yarn needle next. Come in through the same hole and out through the center top of the head. Bring in your keychain and sew through the jump ring a couple of times. Then come out through the same hole as the white yarn tail. You can tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails to secure it, then cut off the excess and hide the knot. This amigurumi is complete. Now let's see how to do the other colorways. For the calico cat with the two different ears, at the end of crocheting you'll have two yarn tails like this. While fastening off, leave long yarn tails of both the colors. We are going to use the black yarn to sew up the black side and orange yarn to sew up the orange side. This will make it look seamless. For the Siamese cat, I am going to shade the pointed face with some brown eyeshadow. Keep in mind that this will come off when you wash the amigurumi and you will have to reapply it. In the end, leave yarn tails for both the colors of yarn. For the center part, we are going to sew using the lighter color yarn, and for the tips of the ears, we are going to sew using the darker color yarn. For the tabby, apart from the stripes on the body and the tail, we also need to embroider some stripes on the top of the head. Tabby cats usually have an M-shaped marking on their forehead. I'll put the detailed written patterns in the descriptions. I hope you guys like this video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.